Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the three-game preseason NBA slate here on Thursday. A couple things before getting into the video. One, we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at 993, so we're 7 away. Thank you guys all so much. Really do appreciate all the support. And then two, again, I'm doing a weekly giveaway on this channel. All you have to do is leave a like and a comment. That's one entry into the giveaway. Max one comment, though, per video. It starts with my Monday night video at the beginning of the week, goes throughout the week, and ends in my Monday night video at the end of the week. So however many videos up for the week, you can enter at that times. Again, so say if I have 10 videos up for the week, you can enter at 10 times. And the winner will receive a $20 PayPal from yours truly. So with that out of the way, let's look into my lineup. So we're going to be going over my late lineup because the early lineup, or my main lineup, I guess, Aaron Gordon got injured. Really unfortunate. He was like 40% owned. Jaw contusion, like, what the fuck's a jaw contusion? Come on, Aaron Gordon. But yeah, he was obviously a bust injury. You're not gonna win with a injured player. And then Vucevic too, really big letdown. I'll take the L there for sure. I was pretty high on him. I wanted to jam in a lot of those top guys with Vooch, Drummond, Giannis, Zion, Doncic. I went with Giannis and Vooch. Vooch is obviously disappointing. He only had I think 16, 17 fantasy points against Atlanta's front court. Yeah, I expected a lot better, so I'll definitely take the L there. But we're looking at, this is my late night lineup, so this is what I went with here. I stacked basically the Pelicans-Bulls game because I knew it was going to be played obviously at a really fast pace, so I talked about that a lot. And then I ran it back with Giannis and Tony Bradley, who's a value guy I really liked. So we'll see. I took the risk here with Alexander Walker. Hasn't gotten in the game yet, but I assume it's midway through the third quarter. Should be coming in very soon, so maybe he can carry me to victory here. But yeah, that's basically my late night lineup. So let's see. Let's go over this 3-game slate for Thursday. So it's a later slate. It starts at 9 o'clock Central Time, so 10 o'clock Eastern. I will be live streaming again 30 minutes before lock if you guys are interested. Also, it's really important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts as we get news throughout the day. So, yeah, really important to follow me on Twitter and check out the live stream as well. So, let's jump into it. 3 games, and this is, I like this slate a good amount. So, Phoenix and Sacramento, both teams have new coaches. So, I'm not going to go over the minutes from last year. Just, again, new coaches. New style, but let's look at Minnesota, Golden State, Denver, and the Clippers really quick in their second preseason game of the season last year. So Minnesota, kind of typical, again, starters. Always a safe estimate for a starter in the preseason is 20 to 25 minutes. That's kind of what we see here for a lot of the starters. Cat playing 26, a couple of the other guys playing 22, 23. Golden State, the main guys, the Durant and Clay played mid-20s. Steph looks like he sat out that game. And then the other guys, in the teens. Look at Denver's second game last year, and pretty typical. A lot of guys in the low to mid-20s. And then the Clippers, kind of the same thing. So, I'm expecting, pretty similar tonight for, all 6 teams, basically. I'm really expecting 20 to 25 minutes for all starters, unless we hear otherwise. Again, I'm making this video Wednesday night, so a lot can change. That's why it's important to follow me on Twitter, but as of right now, I'm kind of projecting everyone in that 20, 25-ish minute range for the starters, at least like the main guys, right? So let's start with center again. I like a good amount of centers. Once again, Cat at the top at 9.6K should just crush in this matchup. If we look at Golden State's front court, they are really thin. No Looney, no Smeljic, and no Willie Cauley-Stein. So they are really thin. They have Draymond, and they started Spellman last game against the Lakers. But yeah, the Lakers front court just abused them. They have Marquise Chris as well. And then they have, Pascal they can use as a big. But again, they're really pretty thin up front. Cat should have his way against whoever they put on him. So really like him as a spend up. I think there's value guys we can get to in a sec where you can fit Cat in. So yeah, he just has huge upside. We saw it in that last game against Phoenix. He had close to 50 fantasy points in 25 minutes. Yeah, really like Cat as a spend up. Ayton at 7.3K, so the starters kind of got limited. He got 21 minutes, but I really like the usage out of him. They were using Ayton in a lot of pick and rolls. Looked pretty good here. The matchup solid against Sacramento. Sacramento not a very good defensive team. So I wouldn't mind pairing both Towns and Ayton in the same lineup. I think That lineup has a lot of upside. But we look at other bigs. Draymond at 6.2K is definitely viable. Obviously no KD, obviously no Clay, so it's basically him, Steph. They got D'Angelo Russell as well. I just don't know if the upside is huge on Draymond in 20 to 25 minutes. I think I like the upside in a few other guys, but that's not saying he's out of play, right? And Montrez is going to be coming off the bench at 5.5K. They always run Lou and Montrez off the bench. We got no Paul George and no Kawhi Leonard in this one. So, those are Lou and Montrez will be the main guys off the bench. They're always super productive on given minutes. Montrez in the last preseason game played 24 minutes. I think we get kind of the same here, tonight. So I like him a good amount at 5.5K. He's a guy that doesn't have to score to get you there. Can get you there in blocks, steals, boards. So, yeah, I think he's really solid in the mid-range. Millsap's decent here at 5.4. I guess I kind of skipped over Jokic. I just realized he's listed as out, but that's because he missed that game just for rest, I believe it was. I'm pretty sure it's just for rest. So we have to wait and see if Jokic is available. If Jokic plays, then yeah, I really like Jokic as well. That's a situation we have to monitor. But if Jokic plays, all three of those guys up top probably would want to jam in two of those three into my lineup. But Millsap, if there's no Jokic, he would be viable here at 5.4K. Him and Mason Plumlee would then pick up the start as the front court guys. We saw Millsap was had a pretty good night in that first preseason game. I would probably only go there, though, if Jokic misses. If Jokic plays, I don't see the huge upside in Millsap. Millsap kind of defers offensively when Jokic is out there, so don't know if I would go there if Jokic plays. Bagley, I like the price on him a good amount, too, at 5.2K. He's the starting power forward now. They have Dwayne Dedmon at center, but Dedmon's, not the best offensive guy. I mean, he can knock down some threes, but really, Bagley is the guy they're going to go to in the post. The matchup against Saric, pretty solid, so I think he's very viable at 5.2K for a cheaper option. I like him a decent amount. Dedmon currently listed as questionable due to an illness. If he plays, he's an option as a cheaper option. I think I prefer Bagley because he's got the better offensive game, but Dedmon can get you there. He was knocking down some threes. I was watching that game against the Pacers, and then he can get you there in blocks and steals. But I think if I'm picking between the two, I would lean towards Bagley. Zubac's definitely decent here as well at 4.9K. He's a guy that when he gets minutes can crush. Again, just looking back at last year against Golden State in 17 minutes, he put up 41 fantasy points. Now, Denver runs big, so maybe Zubac gets a few extra minutes here too. So, yeah, he's definitely viable in the cheap range. Jeremy Grant's okay. Would only probably go there if Jokic misses because he would get a lot of run at the small ball 5. We saw that last game. Spellman's decent as a value option just because Golden State's so thin. He's probably going to be asked to play big minutes, but I am worried he gets in foul trouble against Cat. And I think there's a couple other cheap options I prefer, but Spellman, definitely still viable. Mason Plumlee would probably only go there if Jokic misses, so that's the situation we have to monitor. Rashawn Holmes, I like him a decent amount if he plays. He's currently listed as questionable. He's a guy that whenever he gets minutes, we saw it last year, he can crush, block, steals. He's just super aggressive offensively. So that's the situation we have to monitor. If Dedmon misses and, maybe Rashawn Holmes picks up the start, then he would be super viable there at 4.1K. Let's see. Other options, don't hate Vonleh coming off the bench. He'll probably get a little bit of run. Don't hate Kaminsky coming off the bench. Marquise Chris is doable too. He's just a guy that he seems to always be in foul trouble, so there's definitely risk. And yeah, I can see him, getting matched up against Cat a decent amount, and Cat obviously super aggressive on the offensive end. So there's definitely foul trouble risk with Marquise Chris, but he does have upside if he can stay out of foul trouble. And that's kind of it. Kabengele here at 4K. I think he's solid. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get, but he's the rookie. He looks pretty good so far in the preseason action. So he's another guy you got to consider as a value play. Again, Denver runs big. Maybe he gets a little extra run. So that's kind of it for the center position. Let's move on to power forward. Again, no Kawhi, no Paul George. Draymond Green is doable. Again, I don't see huge upside in him, but he's in play. Already talked about Montrez, Millsap. We already talked about a lot of these guys. Harrison Barnes, Ariza are guys that just don't play. Can they get you there at 5K? Yeah, they can, but they're kind of just staying in the corner, lower usage guys. So I don't think I want to go there in this slate. JaMychal Green, don't mind. Again, Denver runs big. Maybe he gets a few extra minutes. So he's a guy that, again, can get you there in blocks and steals. Bielit's still going to be coming off the bench. Don't hate that, if he knocks down some threes. Cameron Johnson, too, is okay in the starting lineup, but a lot of the usage for the starters is going to Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Covington's okay. I mean, he can get you their blocks and steals. McKinney's a lower usage guy, but I'll probably pick up the start. Okay, then we get to some guys I like here as cheaper options. So Dario Saric at 4.1K. That's just too cheap for a starter. I assume he gets 20, maybe even 25 minutes. So yeah, 4.1K at basically minimum price. I like that a decent amount. Other options, I mean, Cheek Diallo coming out the bench. I guess I don't hate that. Pascal might get a little extra run because Golden State's so thin up front. That's kind of it. So let's move on to small forward. Small forward, not a whole lot of options. Andrew Wiggins, a guy you just never play. I get it if you want to go there. If his shot's falling, he can get you there. But we saw it last preseason game. He had, 7 fantasy points? I think his stat line was 6 points, 1 rebound, right? I just don't like playing guys that have to score to get you fantasy points. So he's just never a guy I play. But I get it if you want to go there. The price is reasonable. Again, he should shoot the ball a decent amount when he's out there. Same thing kind of here with Buddy Hield, but he has a little bit more upside in my opinion. Again, guy that most likely going to get you there fantasy points in the scoring department. Not a guy that will get you a whole lot of rebounds or assists. Every once in a while, he will get you there, with boards and assists, but he's a little scoring dependent as well. But if I'm picking between the two, I think I would lean towards Buddy Hield. Shamet's okay at 5.8K. Don't see the huge upside in him, though. Culver, don't hate it at 4.8K. Bogdanovich, I'd like this play a decent amount as a cheap option. At 4.4K, he's going to be coming off the bench. We saw it last year, 2 years ago. I mean, this guy is, he comes off the bench and he's super aggressive, right? He kind of runs that second unit at close to minimum price in a good matchup. I like him a good amount here coming off the bench. Let's see. Will Barton's decent. Terrence Mann, another cheap option I like too at 4.3K. He picked up the start last preseason game, and he's a guy, again, that does not have to score to get you fantasy points. He can get you there in blocks, steals, boards, assists. I love playing guys like that. I talked about that. I actually made a tweet about Lonzo Ball tonight about just I love playing guys like that in DFS because they don't have to score to get you there. Lonzo Ball had 2 real-life points and 25 fantasy points at half. Those guys are great because they have a high floor, and then when they're knocking down shots, they have a super high ceiling. So that's why I like playing those guys in DFS. Jordan Poole's interesting. He's a little more scoring dependent in his stat line. Rolled his ankle, but they said he's been good to go. He played 23 minutes again, 17 points, 1 board, 1 assist, 1 steal. So if his shot's not falling, he can hurt you. But if he's knocking down threes, 4.2K, he does have some upside. Michael Porter Jr. at the flat minimum. He played 17 minutes. Not the best stat line there, 9 points, 3 boards, but I think he's a cheap option you can consider. But again, I probably prefer a couple other guys here with, with Saric, with Terrence Mann, with Bogdanovich as cheap options. So let's move on to shooting guard. At the top, it's pretty clear cut for me. It's Steph and it's Booker. Like those guys a lot. If you can fit them in there, jam them both in. They're both going to be super aggressive. They're both going to shoot the ball a ton. So, like those guys both a good amount. D'Angelo Russell is the pivot off Steph if you want to get risky. He did not have a great first game. It was a lot of Steph Curry, and D'Angelo Russell did not look that good. But again, all the ownership I think is going to go to Steph. So if you want the pivot in GPPs, don't hate taking a shot in D'Angelo Russell. We saw he does have upside with the Nets last year. So already talked about those guys. Jamal Murray at 5.8K, I think is doable. I think I would like him more if Jokic misses, just because he would be kind of the number 1 there on the offense. So if Jokic misses, I would consider Jamal Murray in the mid-range. Lou Williams, I like a good amount coming out the bench against him and Montrezl Harrell running that second unit. I assume those guys play close to 20, 25 minutes, right? So, Lou, again, he's going to be super aggressive off the bench. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. No Paul George, no Kawhi. He's going to eat up a lot of usage. Gary Harris is okay, just a little too scoring dependent for me. Pat Beverly, I guess, is doable at 4.5K. Again, I really like Bogdanovich coming off the bench. Really like Terrence Mann as a cheap option. Kyle Guy, I don't think the minutes will be there. That's basically it. So let's move on to point guard finally. Again, the 2 guys at the top, Steph, Booker. Really like those guys. If you can get them in there, jam them in. Fox, I like a good amount too in the mid-range at 6.2K. I think this guy's going to have pretty big upside this year. For regular season NBA, 6.2K, it's just too cheap. This guy flashed some big upside last year in a good matchup. I like De'Aaron Fox in the mid-range. De'Aaron Fox in the mid-range, I can't talk, a lot. Jeff Teague, don't know if I want to go there at 5.7K. It's basically, Cat, and that's kind of it for their offense. So Teague's okay, but I probably prefer, a guy like Jamal Murray or De'Aaron Fox in the mid-range. Rubio's definitely solid too. Again, he's a guy that doesn't have to score to get you there. In 20 minutes, he had 11 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. So he's definitely viable as well. Beasley, Monte Morris, don't know if I want to go there. And that's basically it. So again, guys, I'm making this video Wednesday night. A lot can change. So it's really important to follow me on Twitter. Again, that's in the description below. I think that's about it. So again, if you haven't enjoyed the content, I really appreciate it if you'd like this video and subscribe. If you want to get into the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment. That's one entry into the giveaway. I'll be live streaming, once again, 30 minutes before lock on my YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for that. And that's it. Thanks again for coming to check out the video, guys, and I will see you later.